It's twilight time. Wanda and Vision, aren't we a five pair?
Good to see you.
You too.
Well, first, I gotta talk about just your hair game because your hair game is like always on point with
But I
all
see
the
you over
looks.
there. This is a new quarantine style. Did this just
Yeah,
emerge?
yeah. This
I
my
love it.
quarantine knots
Got
right
the
now.
Bantu knots going. I love it. You gotta have fun, right?
Yeah. How fun was it to play in this in this throwback when it's black and white and you're under these different fashions of the times? Like, how fun was it to play that with a laugh track? Because I've seen you play on Mad Men and all these other type of content, but I've never seen you play on anything with a laugh track. How different was that?
It was very different. A huge adjustment to go into the sitcom world because I've actually never done any sitcoms. I've done hour-long dramas. I don't even know that I've done. Yeah, I don't think I've done any Oh yeah, Survivor's Remorse was a comedy, but it didn't have a laugh track. So when you get into sitcom world, that's a very different thing. And Matt Shackman, our director, took us through this sitcom boot camp. So that was helpful, and we just studied different shows from the different time periods. But I mean, the laugh track doesn't play while you're doing it. They insert it later. So you're having to feel that out in the moment without actually hearing it. So it's very much an adjustment.
We are an unusual couple, you know.
Oh, I don't think that was ever in question.
How does it feel to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? I mean, Marvel is we've had so many great black stars, whether it's Chadwick or you got Mike Coulter for Luke Cage, or Don Cheadle or Terrence Howard or anybody that's played in there. That it seems like all these Marvel fans seem to gravitate to. And now you're in this new television offshoot world. But how does it feel just being in that world that's had so much lineage and history of stars and superheroes come through it?
It's dope. I'm ready for Monica to have her shot in the forefront because, as you mentioned, there are a lot of dope black characters we've been given, and a lot of them are the men. So to have a black woman come to the forefront and be able to say in the comics, this is a woman first black woman to lead the Avengers. She's a total badass, so smart, and such a team player. I'm really excited that we're going to get to see more of her. And then for Wandavision to essentially be her origin story in the MCU, it's going to be really exciting, I hope, for fans to see this weird, like, how does Monica even relate to Wanda and Vision, and why is she in this world? Along with, why is Darcy and Jimmy Woo, how do they all fit in? And essentially, it's going to be, and essentially to be her origin story. And on top of all of that, and above all of that, in the midst of all that, you have the beautiful love story between Wanda and Vision, and us getting to see their story deepen and get more space and time to explore that. So it's really fun, and it's a lot going on and a lot that we're packing into a show.
Yeah. And lastly, 2021. I know it's a lot of feelings on the board right now from everything that's been going on. But how have you just been maintained? Like, how do you detach from all the craziness and everything else? And like, what's your detached phase? Like, what do you do to get away from the craziness, so to speak?
I think it's changed over the last year because we've been in this pandemic quarantine for almost a year now. At first, earlier on, it was cooking and playing games and things like that. And then I had to kind of do this thing where I would just turn off the news, turn off that whole situation, because it just felt like I was getting more and more anxious by the second. And so I really started diving into catching up on TV shows and movies. And it really became like, I've always had an appreciation for movies and television, but during this pandemic, this quarantine, I've really taken even a deeper understanding and appreciation for what it is I get to do, and how it truly can be a relief and a source of joy for people when the whole world is falling apart, because it was
Yeah.
for me to watch.
Yeah. Well, can't wait to see you and everything coming up, and always love all your pictures. Really loved you and Bill Street could talk. I wish they would have exploited that story a little bit more. on your character. But anything you do, I'm a fan of. Keep doing it. I'll keep on cheering and watching.
Thank you so much, Jamal. I
All
appreciate
right. See you soon. Bye.
you. All right. Bye.